your worldview a little bit. It might make you uncomfortable, but that's part of the point, is that it opens you, it makes you more generous toward other religions and toward other viewpoints. And again, what does it mean to keep Vedanta in the background as you practice your own religion? Keep in mind that the goal of your religion, whatever that religion is, whether it's Christianity or Islam or Hinduism, is God realization or enlightenment or self-realization, whatever you want to call it, salvation. Never lose sight of the goal of religion. I think what happens in many cases is that you get so caught up in what Swami Vivekananda used to call the secondary details, the doctrines, fighting with people, that you lose sight of the goal, which is enlightenment. And the third, if you're a Vedantin while also practicing religion, you'll always be actively trying to learn from other religions. That spirit of openness is always there. So let me be a little bit more concrete. Imagine a Vedantic Christian. Let's say I'm a Vedantic Christian. I accept the Bible, I worship Christ as God, but I also believe that God can incarnate in other human beings, as Krishna, as Ramakrishna possibly. And so I'll never limit God to just Christ. Okay? And also, for instance, actually, if you adopt a kind of Vedantic framework, it can to one or more of the four yogas. Now, coming to the second sub-question, how might Swami Vivekananda have reacted to the contemporary SBNR movement? Imagine, I don't know how many, I'm going to reveal my age indirectly here, but one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And so imagine Swami Vivekananda, he was taking this time machine and he comes to 2022 and he's observing this SBNR movement. How might he have reacted? How might he have responded to it? I think, first of all, he would have been very encouraging, very sympathetic, and said that it's wonderful. Here are the wonderful points behind the SBNR movement. I'll just mention three. People who identify as SBNR are very open to spirituality. And so they're not dogmatic in the other direction, in the way that like Richard Dawkins type people are. They're dogmatic atheists no, they're open. There's a kind of spirit of openness, intellectual openness, spiritual openness. Second plus point, they have a spiritual hunger. There's a sincerity at bottom there. And thirdly, I think Vivekananda was one of the, you can see this in his lectures, he could be scathing sometimes in attacking religious fundamentalism, religious bigotry, religious violence. And so he says, you SBNRs, you're absolutely right in condemning these things, these phenomena.
Be speaking here for the being actually God is also perfect. The perfect emerges from the perfect. Taking away this world does not diminish anything. What remains is also perfect. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear friends, today it's a very important topic. Dear friends, today it's a very important topic that I have taken up for discussion, and I'll proceed mainly.
You'll say either it's not true, it's just make-believe, or you will say it's true but it's too difficult for me, or it's true but I'll do it when I'm retired, not now. The very fact that we are here means we have come to this preliminary stage. We start with Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan, Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga. All four we are ready to start. Ramana Maharshi, it seems, used to say, somebody asked him, am I qualified for Advaita? Am I qualified for spiritual life? And he said, did you say I? Because his method was, who am I? If you say I, you are qualified. You have got an I. You are qualified. You can always inquire, who am I? Arjuna and Duryodhana represent probably the two extremes of individuals recognizing right and wrong and their willingness to change. Most of us are in the middle path, sometimes recognizing, sometimes willing to change. Any spiritual guidance for these middle pathers, Maharaj?
Every time when we represent the two extreme categories, then just to say no, that it is not good, and yet we go to do that. But then many times we don't do. When we see that it is not right, and even though I like it, I check my liking. When I see the overwhelming loss that I will be subjected to by following my liking, and then I desist from doing it. So this happens, many people who are, say, diabetic. They, not that they don't like sugars, they like. In fact, at Belur Math, I was told that that is the sign you can tell who is diabetic. What I was told, that look, when in the whole line sitting for the meeting, he says, "Oh, don't give me more than 2." So that is a sure sign that the person is diabetic. So there is an attempt to control. It is, although there is, because the liking for sugar is another sign of being diabetic. So, but this person sees what bad effects may come because of this and tries to control. Some can, some cannot, because they do not have that strong discrimination like Arjuna, that yes, or Nachiketa for that example, and that yes, this is not right, and then question doesn't come at all whether it is pleasant or unpleasant. That it is not right, I don't want it. For some, well, it is pleasant, and that is with so many, that what is the reason that you are doing it? Well, I like it, as if it is reason sufficient. So, these are the extremes, but you see many that although they like it, they won't do it because they know it is not right. That there is my exam tomorrow, and that there is this big ball game going on, I like to watch, but tomorrow is my test, so that
said, "Hannah," and she almost crashed the car. She was so stunned. Nobody but her deceased brother called her Hannah. And another time, he suddenly started talking about seeing a spy plane. And he said, "Oh, yeah, remember, Dad took me to see a spy plane. It was really interesting." So she asked her husband, "Did you ever take our son to see a spy plane?" He said, "No." And then they asked their mom, and the mom and dad confirmed that, or the dad, I guess, confirmed that he had taken the deceased brother to see a spy plane before he died. The brother had died in a car crash. He had gotten drunk. His friends tried to talk him out of driving. He wouldn't listen to them, and he crashed the car.
To Sahavi knowledge. So where you go next depends on your level of knowledge and how good you have been, not only in this life, in previous lives also. So they say some souls enter the womb for acquiring bodies. Well, but there is not an immediate jump from this body to the next body. In few rare cases there have been, especially after the Second World War, you find a lot of children being born, after wars especially, that they had memories of their past life. Till they are babies, till